Dogs have long been celebrated not just as loyal companions, but as communicators with intricate ways of sharing their emotions, needs, and even warnings with both humans and other animals. While their wagging tails, expressive eyes, and body posture speak volumes, it's often their vocalizations, the humble bark, that most clearly captures our attention. But have you ever paused to wonder what your dog is truly saying when it barks? Are all barks the same, or is there a hidden language woven into those vocal bursts? To truly appreciate the deeper meanings behind dog barks, it helps to understand both the biological and social context in which these sounds develop. Unlike wolves, from whom domestic dogs descend, dogs have developed an especially rich set of vocal signals tailored to interact with people. For many thousands of years, dogs and humans have coexisted, and in that time, dogs have fine-tuned their communication not just for survival among their own kind, but to catch our attention, convey emotion, or foster a bond with us. At its core, barking is a tool. Think of it as a dog's multi-purpose message, a vocal Swiss Army knife. Just as a single word in our language can mean different things depending on how it's said and the context, barking varies widely in pitch, duration, repetition, and intensity. Each element carries clues, subtly signaling what's happening in your dog's mind at that moment. Let's begin with the basics. When dogs bark, the sound they produce is influenced by a series of factors, including their breed, size, age, and importantly, their emotional state. A deep, throaty bark from a large guardian breed often signifies vigilance or warning, while the sharp, rapid-fire yelps from a smaller, more excitable dog could mean they've spotted something new or are demanding attention. But while breed characteristics matter, the emotional backdrop is equally, if not more, significant. Take the classic alarm bark, for example. When a dog perceives a potential threat approaching their home, be it a stranger at the door or a passing animal, they emit a series of rapid, forceful barks. These alarm barks are usually low to mid-range in pitch and tend to be consistent in sound and rhythm. The message is clear. There's something here we need to notice. I feel uneasy. Be alert. This form of barking often comes with a stiff posture, alert ears, and an intense stare. The dog is not just expressing emotion, it's actively calling for backup, inviting the human or other dogs to join in vigilant observation or to prepare to act. Another distinctive type is the demand bark, sometimes humorously referred to as the nagging bark. If your dog stands by the door barking insistently or stares at you with a toy in its mouth and a quick, sharp vocalization, you're likely hearing a demand or request. These barks tend to be higher in pitch, shorter in duration, and less rhythmic than alarm barks. The meaning here is, I want this to happen, right now. For some dogs, demand barking is learned through experience. If barking gets them what they want, they're sure to use it. Then, there's the attention-seeking bark. This is often softer, more repetitive, and comes with whining or other cues. Picture a dog positioned by your chair, wagging its tail, and issuing a series of hopeful, even somewhat pleading barks. It's an invitation. Please notice me, interact with me, soothe me, or take me outside. This kind of barking is nearly always paired with relaxed, open body language, and a clear orientation toward you, the object of their desire. On the opposite end of the spectrum, fear or distress barking is often unmistakable, both in sound and body language. The bark is usually higher pitched, sometimes rising to a frantic or piercing yelp, and is often accompanied by retreating body posture, ears back, tail tucked, eyes wide. Whether triggered by an unfamiliar environment, a loud noise, or the presence of another animal, these barks signal a dog's discomfort or even panic. Here they're expressing a need for reassurance or escape, not just sounding an alarm. Interestingly, dogs also bark when they play. Play barks are unique, often higher pitched, interspersed with other vocalizations like growls or play sneezes, and typically accompanied by loose, wagging bodies, play bows, and excited movement. These barks say, "I'm having fun, let's keep the game going." They are invitations, signals of joy and abandon, and rarely persist beyond the bounds of playtime. Some barks are even meant for other dogs or animals rather than for us. These can include territorial warnings, social greetings, or even distant echoes of hunting instincts. For instance, many breeds once used in hunting or herding have distinct barks for different tasks. The persistent tracking call of a beagle on a scent trail is different from the cut-off, sharp yelp meant to guide sheep or cattle. So how can you as a dog owner or observer begin to decode these barks? First, pay attention not only to the bark itself, its sound and speed, but to the context and body language that accompanies it. The situation gives invaluable clues. Is the dog alone or with others? What is happening around them? Are there new sights, sounds, or smells? Over time, many dog owners become attuned to the subtle differences in their own pets' barks. You may notice, for instance, the difference in your dog's alert bark when a neighbor walks by versus the excited bark when you return home. Often, the bark's rhythm changes. The stranger alert might have longer pauses between each bark, while welcome home barking is rapid and interspersed with joyful wiggles. Research into dog vocalizations supports these observations. Studies conducted by animal behaviorists and canine specialists have shown that even people unfamiliar with a particular dog can often, with remarkable accuracy, deduce the emotion or intent behind different types of bark just by listening to recordings. That's because certain tonal qualities, pitch, intensity, repetition, have universal meanings rooted in canine social behavior. But why did dogs evolve to bark so much more than their wild ancestors? Unlike wolves, who rarely vocalize around humans except in very particular circumstances, domestic dogs have been selectively bred for traits that enhance their utility and happiness in human society. Early on, barking would have been an asset, warning human families of danger, signaling successful hunts, or helping coordinate herding and protection. Over generations, those dogs who barked effectively to communicate with humans would have been favored, passing on their vocal tendencies. Thus, barking is not only a means of communication for dogs among themselves, but also a vital bridge in the human-canine relationship. However, just as not all barks are created equal, not all barking is healthy or desirable. Excessive sustained barking, especially in the absence of clear threats or needs, can sometimes indicate underlying issues. Anxiety, boredom, lack of exercise, or even certain medical conditions can manifest as chronic barking. In such cases, understanding the root cause through careful observation, consultation with veterinarians, or working with professional trainers is essential. Environmental factors play a role as well. Dogs in high-stress environments, or those who lack sufficient social interaction or mental stimulation, are more prone to the kinds of barking that signal distress or frustration. On the other hand, dogs who live in nurturing, engaging environments tend to bark in more predictable, context-appropriate ways. The power of positive reinforcement can't be overstated here. By gently acknowledging needed barks, such as an alarm bark when someone is genuinely at the door, and redirecting or ignoring unnecessary barking, you help your dog learn when it's time to speak up and when it's time to stay calm. Importantly, barking is not the dog's only, nor even necessarily their preferred, way of communicating. Dogs are masters of nonverbal language. They use their posture, tail, ears, eyes, and facial expressions to create an ongoing conversation with those who care to notice. Understanding barking, then, is only one dimension of a much richer tapestry of canine communication. Some dedicated dog lovers go even further, documenting bark patterns, recording their pets, and comparing the sounds over time, Technology has even entered the picture. Smartphone apps and smart collars now claim to interpret or even translate barks into simple emotions or requests. While these tools can be amusing and sometimes helpful, nothing replaces the insight that comes from spending attentive, quality time with your pet, watching and listening closely. Every dog is an individual with their own unique voice. Some breeds are naturally more vocal, such as the Beagle, Sheltie, or Terrier. Others, like the Basenji, are renowned for their lack of typical barking, instead expressing themselves with unique yodels or howls. Within breeds too, personality plays a big role. A confident dog may bark less overall, while a shy or anxious dog might be more vocal, especially in new or uncertain situations. There are also cultural differences in how people respond to and interpret barking. In some societies, barking is seen primarily as a nuisance, something to be minimized or controlled. In others, it's prized as a valuable tool for safety, communication, or companionship. Awareness and sensitivity to both the needs of the dog and the expectations of the community are important when addressing barking behaviors. In conclusion, the next time your dog raises its voice, pause for a moment before rushing to quiet them. Listen carefully. Observe the surroundings. Notice their body language, their eyes, their overall posture. Is your dog warning you of something unusual? Asking for playtime? Expressing excitement or worry? You may find that, over time, the mystery of canine chatter becomes less enigmatic, and you begin to truly understand the heartfelt messages hidden within each bark. Building this relationship of communication with your dog is rewarding not just for them, but for you. Through listening, learning, and respectful dialogue, even if it's mostly one-sided, you deepen your bond, enhance your mutual understanding, and enrich the tapestry of shared experiences. Dogs have given us their loyalty, their affection, and their trust. When we take the time to listen closely to their voices, we honor that gift, strengthening the human-canine connection at the heart of our lives. So the next time your dog barks, whether it's to alert you, ask for attention, join in play, or simply say hello, know that there's a reason and a story behind each and every sound. By tuning in, you become not just a pet owner, but a partner in a lifelong and meaningful conversation.